and their service of people, they're not going to get very far. You know, you can just tell by if people treat each other kindly. You know, the things that you were taught when you were a little child are some of the most important things you'll ever need to learn, to know. Sometimes busy people and people who are leaders forget about how important it is to be kind. Leaders together who get excited about fanning the flames in their associates, who get excited about the contribution, the personal growth, the advancement of those who are around them, well, that is a powerful leadership team. And that is the kind of team that makes a wonderful transformational contribution. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? It's true. And sadly, sometimes with those that we serve, our relationships are not good. And there's no shortcut to this. It takes commitment, and it takes mutual care, and it takes surrender of personal ego. Another thing, pursuing inner transformation. Do you know who you truly are? Who you truly are is the person when no one else is watching. That's what integrity is. Integrity is living with virtue when no one else is watching. I want to show you a picture here. This is a picture of my youngest son. His name is Sean. And Sean doesn't know that he has his picture being taken. Now, we went to a wedding, and I've never seen this before, but at this wedding they had a fountain that was filled with chocolate. And so he's 10 years old. And this idea of a fountain filled with chocolate, he thought he died and went to heaven, you know? And so he goes over and he gets himself a big plate of chocolate. But he would know that if Dad was watching, he's in trouble. Because he's not supposed to do that kind of thing. And look, already, you see it beginning to spill here? He doesn't know his picture's being taken. Now, here's Sean. He's just been found out. And next to the photographer, on the other side of the photographer, is his dad. And he sees me, and look, he knows that he's in trouble. When we act without strong character and honest character, and if it's exposed, it's a terrible thing. And that can happen to everybody. It happens to pastors. One of the responsibilities I have had in the United States is to discipline pastors who commit adultery. What a terrible thing if you have a church and you have a pastor who violates his covenant with his flock by committing adultery. And pastors who've been found out, they have a look, something like that. But there's something that happens when you do wrong. The first time, it can prick your conscience. But the more people take wrong action, it becomes normal. Especially if wrong action is taken by people who are around them and their associates. Look at Sean here. Now he's gotten very used to the chocolate. And this kid is really in trouble because now he's stuck his hand into the chocolate fountain, licking his fingers and saying, and now what are you going to do about it? This is a kid in trouble. But do you understand the point? Well, at first when you do wrong, it feels wrong. But the more we as humans, if we do that, we get used to it and become callous to it, and it seems normal, and it seems right. Every profession I know has temptations unique to it. It's completely true. This is something I do with people in America, and they may be doctors, they may be attorneys, they may be in business, and I like to ask them, what are the temptations in what you do? And then I follow it with, what was it in these temptations that was first hard for you when you gave in, but now is far more common? Well, do you know what the doctors tell me? A temptation is when they make a mistake and somebody dies, is to give another reason for it. They have that. Attorneys I know the American system, sometimes it's almost the more you lie as an attorney, the more you get paid. We have a joke in America. Do you know how you can tell when an attorney is lying? It's when his mouth is open. And people in politics have their own, and people who are servants in the administrative wing of government, we have that. And I just want to be here as another fellow human being and say we're all this way, but say we can't have a new beginning. And you can become the person you dreamt you would become in the first place. I want to ask you an honest question. Are you disappointed with who you are? By the time you're my age anyways, a lot of us are kind of disappointed and we feel like we've made some compromises. And I just want to say we don't need to stay there. So integrity, I said, is who you are when no one else is looking. And just remember, what we're saying is that to be a transformational leader, the first thing we need to pursue is inner transformation. What are some of the characteristics of a person who lives with honor? I want you to think of them, and let's see if we can do that. So pretend you're in school right now, and I want you to raise your hand. I'm going to call on you. Give me one characteristic of a person who lives with honor. Okay? Let's get at least 5 here. I'm from another country, see, and I don't realize that you don't raise your hands in this body, so just pretend you do, and you're in school. So, what's a characteristic, one characteristic of somebody who lives with honor?
Not afraid.
Not afraid. A person who lives with honor is courageous. That's one. What else?
Keeps his word.
Keeps his word. Is honest. When you speak, is that when the words come out of your mouth, do the people around you know that that word will be kept? When that happens, trust happens. And when you have trust, then you have the beginning of real leadership. In America, we have some people who are leaders because of position, not because of character. And they say, I'm a leader. And they say, we're going to go this way. But you know what? They end up going alone. That's taking a hike all by yourself. That's different than leadership. There is a difference between having authority because of a position, because of an office, and being a true leader that comes from character. So honesty, courage, those are 2 huge ones. What else?
Respected.
They're respected. And how do you get respected?
Being honest, courageous.
Yes. That comes from, you hit my 2 favorites right off the bat, I got to tell you, honesty and courage. You see, and then people respect you. When you have a combination of those 2. Another quality, I would say sacrificial. Truly putting worthy goals above yourself and putting people that you serve above yourself? Do you desire to make a difference